Look, I'm just telling you, I'm trying to protect my peace, and I don't
I
want to be
get it,
talking
man.
about this stuff. I get stuff is important, but there's a lot of people, not other people talking about stuff.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
Rel, you sound like you're using different audio though.
I am. I was telling Dewan for some reason my mic isn't working tonight, so I'm gonna
Oh,
have to doctor it up in post, and
I know.
it
No,
is what
that's
it
right.
is.
Hey, community, here's what's brewing today.
The Glam Awards.
HillmanTok University.
And Bad Bunny residency. Hey, Benito. So
Hey,
get your cups ready for Minority Report.
hey, welcome to Minority Report. It's Auntie Corral.
It's Auntie Dwan.
And it's Auntie Jarrell. A bitch is back.
She
Ow.
back.
Ow.
She back. I know we missed you last week, boo.
And I look like the struggle that I'm going through. Okay, y'all. So y'all don't pay me no mind.
I
Actually,
wasn't
y'all
gonna
don't
say
watch this on
anything.
YouTube. Don't even watch this on YouTube. Just listen to Spotify.
Yes, you
That's
do.
all you need to know.
Watch it on
No,
YouTube.
you don't.
And take
Right.
screenshots.
The way I
This
feel,
Capricorn ain't Capricorning during her season.
girl. Let me tell you. I looked in the mirror today and I was like, damn. I look like my daddy, nigga. Damn. I just is growing out. I got a haircut appointment tomorrow, y'all. So y'all enjoy it because it's gone. It's
You getting
gone.
finger
Let's
waves?
go.
I don't even know where my clippers are. That's where I had to go, and I'm trusting a brand new barber. So y'all know the struggle. I don't even
Ooh, you might go from
Why?
one struggle to the next.
look. I'll buy a hat. I'll buy a hat. I need something because I don't know where my
you-
clippers
Yeah.
are.
What happened to your old barber?
Who Fizz? You know he been cutting my hair since Fizz
Yeah,
has
he
been
been
cutting my
cutting
hair
his
for the
hair
last
forever.
4 years.
Well, I just thought that was
Since
just a
the pandemic.
stand-in. I thought you had like a regular schmegular.
Nope, it's been me and Fizz cutting my hair for the last 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah. hmm Yeah.
The little D Sherrills is D Fizz.
Girl, look.
Right.
Yeah.
And for people who
Yep,
don't know
how's
what
it-
D Sherrills is, that's the beauty supply shop that used to be. It's still there,
Yeah.
but they used to live like right across the street from it. So
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a throwback.
That is
That's if you've been with Minority Report for a minute.
Yep.
You know all these little
They're like they know.
Easter eggs. And community, if I'm sounding a little crunchier this week than normal, keep your stuff to yourself. My microphone just decided to crap out tonight, so I'm using my AirPods and trying to doctor it up as much as I can in post. But it might just be a crunchy ass episode. Sorry, it is what it is.
I saw a meme today that said, I'm just going to say that my new year is going to start on February 1st because this January feel like it got 225 or 224, a little bit of 224 left in it. And I was just like, I feel that. I absolutely. First of all, this January feels like it's been a whole quarter. Like it's 1 month, but like every day feels like it's been a month. And I'm like,
Yes.
we still in January? What is this?
It's you know what? I blame the Aquarius because as Capricorns, we were acting right in the first half of January. The back half of January ain't been shit, and it ain't got nothing to do with me and mine. So I'm putting that out
I
there.
don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like
I
I feel
know.
like the energy that the Capricorns are supposed to be serving up for the entire time of Capricorn season.
They got
kinda
lazy
fizzled
this
out.
year.
Yep.
No,
That's it. New Year's Eve, I'm taking a nap.
All right.
let me tell you, all Capricorns clocked out this year. We said,
So did.
bye, y'all. Because look
And
at
we
the
was right there
world.
with you.
Look, we said,
You didn't
The
have
rest of the signs are right there with you. At least the black and brown. Well, not all the brown folks, but at least all the black folks.
we said ain't
there
got nothing
wasn't
to
a
do
lot
with
to
me.
celebrate. I'll tell you that
Look,
much.
Baby,
look.
baby. But we will celebrate this. How's the moving into the new house? That's why
You
you
know,
look a little rough.
That's exactly what I'm looking for because I don't know where my clippers are in a box somewhere, and I don't even know where at this point. I don't know where. But I will say, I know where my friends be inside now. I know where my friends don't be outside because when you spend all this money and you spend all this time fixing this place up, the last place you want to be is where your work is where all your hard work energy went to. Okay? The way I said, look, I'm going to be looking at walls like this just to look at them.
Baby, a word. A whole ass word.
I did that. That's going to be me, okay? Just looking at walls, just look at them. You okay? Yeah. I'm admiring my work because we painted all the walls ourselves. I'm talking about the ceilings and everything. The way I couldn't move my hands, I was doing the rock way. I would look. This is me painting at this point, okay? Do a little skip to the loo. That's the only way I could paint.
I did that once in Dallas, and I said, no more. I will gladly pay someone else to do this shit. That was the lesson I learned.
And see, y'all be like giving me all kinds of like, oh, she bougie. No, I'm lazy and I'm smart. I'm lazy and I'm smart. All the shit that you talking about, I did all that way long ago. This is not it. I don't get that.
This is not it.
Let me tell you.
I get the idea of like sweat equity. My sweat is in equity I put in this hoe. I'm not putting extra on it. So I'll pay somebody else. Come on here, pack my shit up.
And I literally said I need to go ahead and make more money. So the next time, that's where I'm at. I said, look, it was cute. I got in the house, but I didn't make sure I could pay people to make sure I was in the house how I wanted to be. So I was like, God damn. I looked at Fizz. My brother was like, because my brother-in-law is going to help us with the little project. And he was like, yeah, I can get it done in like the next 4 months. And I looked at both of them. I said, I'm ready to be done. I'm ready to be done. And I hear you say, don't pay nobody.
At this point?
It hadn't even been 2. It ain't even been 2 days. And I'm ready to be done. Okay? I said,
I love having Jarrell here and having these moments that we've each been through, and he goes through it. Because it's just like, it's the truth. Like, we've been through it. It's like, bitch, I know. But I just love seeing it. I love seeing it.
Literally, the man, I said, it's my money. I'm going to pay. At this point, either we are we doing this or we not, or is someone else about to come do this? Because this...
It's not it. It's not it. Especially like because like it's like you work all day and it's the last thing you want to do on your free time. At least for me, that shit does not bring me joy. It does not bring me anything. And so when it's done,
I ain't had time to touch myself. I ain't even had time to touch myself. Okay, it's eating up all my time. No,
hilarious.
I'm ready to be done.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
I know there's some little 20-year-olds listen to the podcast right now. It's like, you know what? That doesn't sound too bad. It can't be that bad. I can't wait till I own me a little place and can make it my own and da 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 da.
It's a blessing for sure, but it's work. It's work to get it the way you want it to be.
It's just like a relationship.
Yeah.
People want to be all in a relationship. I want to be booed up with somebody. I can't wait to be in, get myself a little husband, get myself a little wife, get myself a little partner, a little them. Then when they get them, they're like, I couldn't even move my arm. I can't,
my sore.
They always around. I ain't got no privacy.
Oh, Lord, I love it. But no, congrats, boo. Congratulations.
Thank y'all.
That's good.
Honestly.
That's good.
It feels good going to this Black History Month being like, you know what? I did that. Right in time, getting into Black History Month in my house. It do feel nice. But a bitch is tired.
That's good.
I'm tired.
I know you are.
I'm trying not to end up on the news.
I know who was tired the other day. Me and Carell.
Baby.
Oh, yeah, girl. Tell me about the Glam Awards.
I was so glad when you texted and said, "Oh, can we maybe record tomorrow?" I was like, "Yes, praise Jesus," because that bitch is tired. Yeah, so like we got to go to the Glam Awards last week, last Monday, Dewan and I, and for those that know, it was the 26th Annual Glam Awards, and it's really a celebration of like LGBTQIA New York City nightlife. Really, it's just like from your drag queens to your best bars to your go-go dancers to your everything,
DJs,
everything in just nightlife culture,
to performers to everything.
Duan, was your friend up there?
Which friend?
the dancer from when we went out.
Wait, what? Wait, which friend?
The dancer from when we all went out.
No.
I wasn't sure. I mean,
we'll get to that part of that story though, because we ended up at that location again.
Oh, God.
But the scene of the crime. He said, "Is that the bar we was at?" I was like, "Yup."
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
But yeah, so and shout out to Kevin and Anthony, because By Latin Man was actually nominated for Best Podcast. So shout out to them. They didn't win, but just to even be nominated is awesome. And I think this was like their 5th time nominated or something like that. So
I love that.
So shout out to them. We got to say hey and give them some hugs and things like that. But yeah, like, so we kind of went to it not really knowing what to expect.
No clue.
And it turned out to be everything. It was everything. Especially, again, you know, we don't harp on what's going on right now, but to be in a room full of just queer people and that energy and everybody about that life right now, they're like, hey, you ain't about to erase us and things like that, was so fulfilling in that regard. But then just the entertainment of everything was like incredible, because you have the best of the best that's in the city performing and being nominated and things like that. And there's the outfits, and Candy Muse and Janelle Number 5 were the host of it. So just to see like Candy Muse like up front, whose makeup was stunning, I was like, okay, you better paint, bitch. You painted the shit out your face. And they did a great job of just keeping the show moving. It was a long ass show still, nonetheless. It was probably 3.5 hours. But so many new drag queens that I'm now a fan of, especially what was her name? Daniela Darling.
Yes.
That chick ate so hard. Like, I was like, you're a motherfucking star. Like, she's going to be, if she wants to be, on a future cast of RuPaul, she'll be on there. So fucking good. And so young still to be that good. Like, because we were there, it was me, Dewan, Corey, and Steven. Yeah. And we were just looking at each other like, why is she this good? Like, she did like this like cabaret number. Fucking ate that shit up.
Her specialty is burlesque. So although she's a trans woman, her specialty is burlesque, and it was just spectacular. And let me just roll back for just a second, because when Carell said that we didn't know what to expect, we were texting literally the day of, like, oh girl, what are you gonna wear? You know, is this something you gotta like? We didn't know what the setup was gonna be. Is it gonna be like, you know, like theater style seats? No, they were tables and chairs and you know, so we got a little gussied up. You know, I mean, we weren't being awarded for anything. We're just you know, trying to see what it was. And coming down this first arriving, I just see nothing but like what I could only describe as our version of like Club Kids. Because I mean, this was an award show specifically for nightlife in New York City. And nightlife in New York City ain't like nightlife in
Seattle.
in Miami,
Omaha,
or
Nebraska.
Seattle, or even LA for that matter, or San Francisco.
Very true.
New York is the nightlife capital of at least the Western Hemisphere. I mean, arguably, you know, within the top 5 of the world. And just pulling up, seeing like so many different personas, we're like, what did we just sign ourselves up for? And Carell and Corey got there before I had arrived, and I met Steven up in the front, and we came down. He had reserved some seats for us, so we would be all sitting together. And then the venue was downstairs. So you go through like the main door of Sony Hall, and then, you know, you kind of get your tickets taken, and then you do the coat check, and then you're kind of like go down these stairs, and then it's the entrance to the actual venue. And as soon as we turn a corner, it's just a sea of people. And I literally, when we finally sat down with Corey and Carell, I said, this kind of gives me like the beginning of Tu Wong Fu vibes. You know, when they all show up at the drag show contest and you have all the club kids in the audience and whatnot, and RuPaul comes from the ceiling and there are all these performances, and it
was very
much that. It was very much that kind of an experience. So the entire night, we're just surrounded by queerness, by differentness, by LGBTQIA plusness, by creatives, but it had such energy.
And the gamut too, like diversity too, not even just like all the white people. It was like Latin, it was black, it was white, it was Asian, it was like the gamut, which was like refreshing to see.
It was indescribable how amazing this experience was, just as a spectator and not having experienced this before, and for people who are not about that nightlife. You know, I haven't been part of the nightlife scenes for decades. So it was just wild, because in my mind, I felt like the club kids and like that whole thing had kind of gone by the wayside, you know, maybe by like 2006, 2007. And honestly, in New York City specifically, when Giuliani became the mayor, he kind of declared a war on like nightlife and drugs, and trying to clean the city up so it can become more family friendly. So a lot of that, the safety net that a lot of the club kids and performers and drag artists and others had, they didn't have that anymore. They didn't have it in as abundance. So New York had been kind of sanitized from a nightlife standpoint.
Baby, you start unveiling some of this shit. We here.
Not anymore. And it's beautiful.
And it was so, like, to the point where like this one queen, she had like a motherfucking parrot on her head. I was like, you better wear that motherfucking parrot. Like, it was like I don't know, like a stuffed parrot for part of her outfit. I was like, I wouldn't wear that, and I probably couldn't even pull that shit off if I wanted to. But it was just so refreshing. Like, because sometimes I think, like, we just, especially, I mean, we have our day jobs in, like, corporate America and things like that, and you just kind of almost go through the day and things like that. It was like a shot in the arm of being like, hold the fuck up. No, hold on. Like, we're queer, we're different, cool, and we're dope as fuck. And it was refreshing. It was neat. Like, even to just see Corey, who like had been in like the New York life of like the night of like the heyday, kind of gotten out of it. And here's the thing about my husband. It happens every motherfucking time we go to New York City. Someone knows Corey Edward. And sure enough, someone walks in and he's like, I think I know that guy. I can't place it to why. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you know, you lived here for a while, blah, blah, blah. But, so he gets up to go smoke, and he comes back in. He's like, I ran into that guy, and yep, I know him. And because Corey used to manage Housing Works. So Housing Works is a thrift stores throughout New York City that really employs a lot, especially initially, a lot of folks that had HIV in like the 80s and 90s and things like that. And so now they really still employ, actually, the trans woman that was next to me, she worked for Housing Works now. And so when she heard Corey say that, she's like, I work for Housing Works now, da, 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 da. So it was kind of a cool moment there. But when he managed Housing Works, that guy used to work for Corey, and Corey goes, yeah, he remembered me, he recognized me and said, I used to work for you, and you fired me.
He probably deserved it.
Corey's like, no, I didn't. He's like, no, yes, you did, because I used to always show up late and you fired me. And Corey's like, well, you probably deserved it. You know, Corey at their point don't care.
Yeah.
And so he comes back, he's like, I have no remembrance of that at all. But he's like, I did recognize his face. And I'm like, I can't go nowhere with Corey in New York. It happens every time we go to New York. And as massive as that place is, it's going to be someone that knows Corey Edwards somehow. But just to see even Corey kind of like reflecting like, wow, I haven't seen Corey that happy in like an all queer event like that. Cause usually he's like, I'm over this shit. He was enjoying it. And so, so that's a long story to say, just like shout out to the Glam Awards. It's dope that this was the 26th year. We need these spaces like this. We need the recognition of our communities like this because folks were just so excited to get these awards. Folks that have been in nightlife for like years. What's this? The bearded queen. Can't think of his name right now, but he's been in the scene. If you see him, Drill, you're like, oh, I've seen him all on Instagram and everything like that.
Not Kiki Ball Change.
It starts with a K.
Not Kiki Ball Change.
It'll come to me in a minute. I'll look it up. But just to see him there, and he had been nominated, like he said, like 16 years, never won, and won that night. And so just to see him crying. Yes.
Yeah.
And so to see him, to see Kevin Alliance, is it?
Kevin Aviance.
Aviance, thank you. From even just like Renaissance, like, and obviously he's bigger than even before Renaissance came along. But it's just
Girl,
like just to see these staples.
I have a picture
of these people
of me, Milos, and Kevin Aviance in shit. Where is it?
In New York?
Yeah. Damn it! What is that club? Fuck, it'll come to me. But basically, I have a picture of us together and Kevin Aviance from 2001, back in the day, in the clubs doing.
But you were a club kid.
Look, I don't just be saying stuff. Like, I got the receipts. Like, she was out of. She has lived. She has lived. But can we take a moment to just acknowledge the names of some of these performers and characters?
Jarrell, these drag queens are innovative with these damn names. Here's my three favorite. Izzy, like Izzy, Izzy Uncut, Hanukkah Lewinsky, and then one that like killed us because we're like, how do you even say this name? Because like they're showing like the nominees, and it's spelled SAWC. How would you say that name?
SAWC.
WC.
Sawick?
Saucy. Bitch, it took us out. I was like, I am done with all y'all hoes.
They have Miss Ma'am She.
Yeah, Miss Ma'am She was another dope.
Wait, another one. Let's see. Bootsy LaFerris. Let's see. And then let's see. Reese Havoc. And what was that other girl's name?
I feel like there's another one that really died on.
Oh, God.
I don't know. But it's alive and well. And so, like we always say, the kids are all right. The kids are all right. The kids are all right, and it's dope. And even like the person that won I think it was best bartender in New York, the short little white lesbian gave the speech of the night, like riled everybody up, saying, "Fuck all these hoes. They ain't deleting us. They ain't erasing us. Fight for this shit." Gave like literally like a 5 to 7 minute speech, and that whole building was like rocking. And it's cool to just see that energy. It's just like, yeah, we motherfucking tired of this bullshit. And it's just week 2. But y'all ain't about to erase us, and we about to tear this motherfucker down if we need to. And so, again, to be in these spaces. And so I know fast forward or rewind 2 weeks ago, we're just saying stay dope, stay visible, stay seen. It was dope to be visible and seen in that situation. Yeah. So Glam Awards will be there next year. Hopefully, one of these days we're nominated. But but at minimum, to be back in spaces like that was refreshing and necessary and needed. But then next thing you know, the award show ended at 12:30, and then they're like, the after party's at Hush. And we're like, and I was like, I'm going home. But then like, of course, Corey, for us, two people were making friends on the street. He's like, well, he wants to go. Let's go. And I'm like, oh, God, if Corey's in this mode, we're going. And so we go, and we stayed there till probably like, at least we left at like 1:30. I don't know how late you stayed.
Another 30 minutes, maybe.
Okay.
I got home at 2:45, something like that.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
And we saw Lux there, so we said hey to Lux, by the way, Jarrell. We saw Lux there.
Plasma,
and then Jimbo, you didn't like Jimbo at Drag Race, but Jimbo was there. Jimbo looked great in person, by the way.
Looked great, and she's not as tall as I thought she was.
She's not as tall as I agree with that statement.
When I saw her, I was like, because she struck me as being like.
I thought she was gonna be like 6'5" or something like that.
Absolutely, she was like 5'11".
I was looking at her eye to eye.
That's all.
Yeah.
Oh, stop. She looked great in person though. There was a lot of great makeup in the crowd. Yeah, it was just good. It was good. But yeah, but then went to bed, left at like 1:30, sleep by 2. I had to wake up and work the next day, and then we had to take the train back in because I had a meeting from 1 to 5 that I had to be in person before. So I had to be like alive and alert and presenting and stuff from 1 to 5. So I was sitting there, like when you texted, I was like, I had just got done presenting stuff and texting y'all, and I was like, yeah, let's do it tomorrow because a bitch is tired. And then I woke up early this morning for the training. I had the 7:30 training thing, so I was like, praise Jesus, that worked out. But the bitch was tired. A bitch was tired. I was like, I ain't a young spring chicken. I'll give it a good shot, but I'm gonna pay for it.
Had we known what to expect, though,
Yeah,
like we would have been better. I think we would have been better prepared, you know. But
Yeah.
now that we know, like it's a whole key. So,
I'm getting me a parent outfit now. So I can't let these queens outshine me and shit. I was like, I was looking like somebody's granddaddy in there, by the way I was dressing. I was like, these young kids, they are all right. They are all right. Let's see here. Shout out to the Tuskegee Airmen. It's Black History Month. They can't erase these hoes neither. And my sister went to Tuskegee University for her undergrad and her vet schooling. So I've been in that town. I've been to that university. I've done a Tuskegee homecoming, which is fire. And again, we'll be all right because the legacy and the proudness that they have for that university and just the history of what it means there. You ain't got to show nobody that we got this. People are still alive from, like, families are still alive from these folks that, you know, like, we here still. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, it can't be erased. But for those that don't know who the Tuskegee Airmen are, before them, there were no African Americans that had ever been in the United States military as a pilot. In 1939, before, let's see here, the Tuskegee Airmen, let's see here, I lost my spot. It says, then in 1941, under the direction of the NAACP, Howard University student Yancey Williams filed a lawsuit against the War Department to compel his admission to the Pilot Training Center. The military eventually succumbed to the pressure, and on January 16, 1941, Secretary of the Army authorized the formation of a Black Pursuit Squadron. This unit was called the 99th Pursuit Squadron, but it wasn't until March 22nd of that year that President Franklin D. Roosevelt officially activated the all-Black World War II Fighter Squadron. And it wasn't, he didn't want to do it, but he finally did it. So it sounds happy-go-lucky, but they still had to fight for that shit. So then the squadron was activated in the first step in the Tuskegee Airmen experiment. It was called an experiment because they were expected to fail by the U.S. government. And then this allowed Black Americans enlisted into the military to be. So they had to be tested to see if they could be trained as combat pilots and support personnel. And again, the government thought it was going to fail, so they didn't even give them official titles. They gave them the experiment title. But then they succeeded and exceeded everybody else, and they were the top trainees in the fucking military. So on March 7th of 1942, the first class of cadets graduated from Tuskegee Army Airfield to become the nation's first African-American military pilots, now known as the Tuskegee Airmen. So there's a lot out there. Obviously, there's a lot of movies and documentaries and things like that. But just want to give a little blurb since folks they be trying it, you know. Yeah. Anyway, but the legacy is incredible. Like, definitely read up on it. Definitely, what's the movie? Red Tails that came out maybe, God, it might be a decade at this point.
Yeah, almost like 2016.
There was a really good one with Lawrence Fishburne from like 1985, 1986 called The Tuskegee Airmen. It's really good. So I haven't seen, you know, I kind of swore off certain kind of movies because I haven't seen enough. Like, drama and shit. I can't do it anymore. So anything after like 2000 and maybe 3, 4, 5 or whatever, I haven't seen it. But this was like 1995, 1996, I think, with Lawrence Fishburne, and it's really good.
And the thing is, like, they flew over, it says over 15,000 individual missions and shot down 112 enemy airplanes in World War II. So they was doing the damn thing.
They were out there.
Baby. And so it's just always humorous to think they try to just overlook the success of these folks that serve. Because if they didn't serve, some of y'all family members wouldn't be here, ho. How about that? So, keep that in mind. Thank you. Next here, let's see here. And it kind of maybe on the same topic here before we kind of get to the fun stuff. Tabitha Brown has kind of been going, I mean, she's always viral, but like going viral, just talking about, because obviously she has a huge relationship with Target and Walmart and a lot of these big retailers out there that are rolling back their DEI efforts. And she put out a clip this latest week just talking about, hey, do what works for you. I get it. But here's like the reality of like what happens behind the scenes. And I'm kind of glad she put that out there because a lot of folks don't know the inner workings of how this retailer space works and things like that. I've done this as my day job for the last 20 years. So I was like, she's dead right. If we don't support, even though we don't want to shop at these places, which again, completely understand. But what happens is if you don't support these black and brown brands at these stores, they're not going to replace it with another black and brown product. They're going to replace it with a white product. Yep. And so that's the thing that I'm glad she said, because what happens, the company I work for is literally where all the data comes from. So I see the data. Our company helps the manufacturers and the retailers look through all the data and see what products need to be in store. And it's so black and white on a lot of things that if you are not selling, yeah. They are saying, bye, bitch. And then now that these companies are rolling back their DEI initiatives, they're not going to be like, oh, well, we took out a black brand. We have the DEI initiative. Let's try to like search within it. They're just going to be like, oh, let's go to this white space because it's easy and convenient for them kind of thing. Yeah. And so that's maybe some of the things that folks don't kind of realize how stuff get on shelf and literally the data behind it. And that's the frustrating thing now that they are rolling back these spaces. I volunteer internally at my company for, and maybe I don't want to share too much, but for certain brands for DEI initiatives to stay in these stores. And so I'm having these conversations with these manufacturers of trying to figure out, okay, how can we look at the data to keep you in stores to warrant the space that you need and things like that. And it's tough. These brands don't have the monies of like the Unilevers and the Cloroxes of the world and the Coca-Colas and the Pepsis of the world. And so it takes a lot of these programs for them to even get their foot in the door and prove why they need to be in spaces. So it's like, again, it's like completely understand why we don't want to. And there's even places like Shop the Hood online, we can like buy directly from consumer or from these retailers, or from these manufacturers. But even then, it's hard for some of these manufacturers because it's hard to really forecast online sales. And then you don't know how much storage space you need for these products and things like that. And then if you don't sell it, then you're still storing it and things like that. So there's just a lot of stuff, even like DTC, direct to consumer, that yes, it kind of cuts out the retailer space. So you can kind of feel better about that moral part of it. But ultimately, all these DTC companies want to be in these retailers because that's where the volume comes from. And that's how they truly are successful to get the dollars to continue to innovate and things like that. So, so it's just interesting to kind of see the stuff around the Tabitha Brown comments.
So I understand the data point, but I guess like at what cost though? Like, am I the only one that's sick and tired of trying to add to try to have space in white space where they don't want my ass to begin with? I'm tired of that. I'm tired of having to jump through hoops and other people having to jump through hoops just to be seen in a fucking place that don't give zero fucks about you. So why are you asking for permission to be in a space where you can go somewhere else where you are wanted? And I just want us to get to a point where it's less about that data aspect and more about like just the morality of it. And at the end of the day, we need to get away from this. We've talked about this podcast a lot about the black dollar, right? And buying black. And I'm just at a point where that's where my mind is. I'm tired of having to jump through hoops to help my people, but their money has to go through a white person before it gets to them. And by the time it gets to them, they done took away that money to begin with. So why I'm doing it? I'm not. I'm just not. And I know, like you saying, the data points, that hurts them, but I work too damn hard for my money to be thinking about your damn business. If you want my business, then you go do it a way that for my morals and what I do for my dollars makes it a little bit more easy for me to give a damn.
I do feel like I 100% agree with you, Jarrell, on the why do we even give a damn. I feel like this year, 2025 is the year where people are going into things eyes wide open. And the fact that we have so many companies, which Target, by the way, was a shock to me, because they had presented themselves as such an ally, both from a queer perspective and from a black perspective and from a Latino perspective.
But we saw it last summer when they didn't do the Pride stuff last summer. We knew it was coming.
Yeah.
We knew it was coming.
So it just goes to show that you don't always know what's performative and what's not until the shit hits the fan. And when it was cool, air quotes, to be on the right side of history, so to speak, but then all of a sudden when you get tested, you want to roll back. It's really showing your colors. And I love that the sentiment from the black community, when you look at social media, is all about fuck Target, fuck anybody that's fuck like them. Like, like we don't, y'all don't. Oh, so you don't. You want to talk about people's mamas? Well, you're gonna fuck around and find out. And so,
my mama's shopping somewhere else. So,
and there's a lot. And honestly, like low key, Target feels a lot like Kmart to me at this point. Like I remember at a certain point in time when they, when they were like the new version of the Walmart or whatever. But now it's just like you go into any Target anywhere, and it's just kind of like, ugh, what is this? And so I share all that to say that it's so funny that they decide to roll back their DEI initiatives, but then also, like, you go on their website right now, and they have a whole page about Black History Month. Like, who are you fooling?
Yeah.
Who
are
you
fooling? For the last couple of years, I've supported Target specifically during Black History Month because they've done a good their collection for Black History Month was great. They always highlighted Black designers, Black authors, and all sorts of creators that were Black, and they made sure that they were front and center when you walked into the store. And I would go shop around the Target because shit was flying off the fucking shelves, and it was cute shit too, really cute shit. But like we said last summer during the whole Pride stuff, and we saw how many companies were rolling back their Pride stuff. We literally said this last year. You think it starts with just this one thing, and it's going to happen to everybody else.
Yeah.
I'm not Raven Simone, but...
Yeah. It's like, even like, I can't say too much because it's blurring the lines of what I know and don't know from work. But it's been a shock for a lot of folks. I'll say that, and just because even some of the initiatives behind the scenes, that wasn't like the narrative that has been portrayed at all either. And so that's where I'll tell y'all there. Like it was like even like the day of, there was stuff that we were doing. And then came home and saw the news. We're like, how sway? Like, hold up. Like, we just had a meeting.
I just want these companies to stand 10 toes on what they're doing. Like, like I'd rather listen, if you're not for equality, if you're not for, creating space for, and being an equitable place and really living up to what you claim are your values, and in the wake of all this stuff, you're rolling, like, just stand 10 toes down so we know who to fuck with. Because right now, I'm treating it. Like, for me, I'm a Leo. I'll cut somebody off in a heartbeat and won't even blink twice. Like, TikTok already off the list. Like, I'm working on the meta stuff right now. I'm still a little dopamine attached, to the Instagrams. I'm not so much on Facebook, but I'm like slowly getting ready to make my exit from that, because at the end of the day, you vote with your dollars, you vote with your time, you vote with your energy. You feed into this. So now comes the time for us to be really going into this year thinking, who are the people that are true allies? Who are the people that are 10 toes down for what's right? And let's continue to work with those folks. And for these other kind of like, corporations and whatnot, commerce goes both ways, So when someone won't, someone else will.
And I want those people to speak up. I want those people to speak up.
I want to shout out Shop the Hood and this is a Black-owned directory of Black-owned businesses. They also have a list of places that you want to avoid, which I find very interesting.
It's and like the modern Green Book.
Absolutely. It's the premise of it, and it's direct links to their shops, not links to third parties that may be advertising or making their products available, but it's directly to those consumers. And it's not just lotions and potions and hair stuff. It is clothing. Right. It is artwork. It is
toilet
books.
paper.
It's jewelry. It's toilet paper. It's toothpaste. It's everything. It is an online version. And
don't complain if it's a little more expensive, because that's why a lot of folks want to go to the retailers, because it makes the overall cost of products come down because of the volume. So if it's a little more expensive on these websites, don't be complaining about that, because there's a reason for that, because it costs more to be a DTC than to also have your products in major retailers.
And the reality of it is, when you buy through a third party, there is a pass-through amount that goes to the vendor anyways that is not really driving a lot of their profitability. So when you buy directly, it may sting a little bit to pay a little bit more with everything else rising in cost. But at the end of the day, you have the comfort of knowing that it's going to a bona fide Black-owned business, or, I'll just say for Shop the Hood. I'm sure there's
minority business. Yes.
Yeah. There's other directories for other minority businesses, but we Black over here. So we talking about things that are Black. If you want to shop
during this month.
Right. If you want to shop and find a little bit more information about it, you can find them at shopthehood.store.
Yep. And one cool thing that's kind of coming out of even this TikTok thing, and it's fucking brilliant, by the way. This HillmanTok University, I'm not sure if y'all have heard of this. Mm-mm. It started almost like as kind of like a little joke of just like, okay, Hillman from a different world. Mm-hmm. How do we have our own little HBCU moment online? And us Black folk, we are very genius when to just like we take the ball, we take that shit running, and it turns to something else. Whereas literally Black community folks are hopping on TikTok, hashtagging HillmanTok University, and folks are setting up courses of how to manage your wealth, how to manage your mental health, how to everything, the gambit of what they're experts in that field, and hashtagging it as HillmanTok University, to the point now the person that started, like a couple folks that got started, but this is one lady that's kind of spearheading it. There's a website out there now, and it's literally turning into something way bigger than like even that moment was. And it's massive right now, how many people are like starting to chime in on this. And it's only been the last week. And so it's cool again, how we just as a community find a way to keep shit moving, to help each other out, have a little fun with it, and but it's still educational about our history. And again, it can't be erased. It's just going to continue to expand, and it's another way to kind of keep the money, quote unquote, in the community now in a different way than just even buying monetary things. Now it's like, no, we're expanding the minds of our community of, hey, we know how to do a podcast. Anyone want to start a podcast? Here's how to start one. That's our class one-on-one. A one-on-one on this. A one-on-one on chemistry. A one-on-one on, like, it's incredible to see right now on TikTok. So I know a lot of folks are like, I don't want to be on TikTok. But if you are, check out that hashtag and see how this community is like expanding rapidly. And it's incredible and inspiring to see, quite frankly.
What I appreciate about this moment that we're all experiencing, as much as it is frustrating and infuriating in some ways, one thing that has come out of, like the turn of the century and really within the last, I would say 5 to 10 years, just before the pandemic and through it, is that we've come to the realization that it's not just about having a seat at the table. Because the table is the illusion. It's the illusion that there's only one table with only certain many seats. We can create our own tables. And what I love is that as these things are starting to happen and that people are waking up from the illusion, the matrix of white supremacy and all this other kind of bullshit, they're starting to realize that, hey, wait a minute, we can do our own things. You know,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
financing ourselves. We're not dependent upon, you know, gatekeepers at banks or investment firms or whatever to get the financing that we need. We've experienced a whole digital explosion. So there's a lot of things that can happen online without any kind of gatekeepers or whatever. Visibility is not a problem. We're the ones that, you know, drive the culture forward anyway. So where we go, that's where the culture will follow. And so my hope through all this mayhem is that we start to see more platforms that can really showcase the greatness of our own community without having to jump onto another person's bandwagon.
Yeah, and white folk, this ain't yours. Don't like. I'm just waiting for that next shoe to drop because you know they're gonna try to do something. But yeah, it's extremely dope to the point where like the community even found this real professor that teach Black studies, and she kind of did a couple with the HillmanTok University, and she was using the platform for her real students, and the kind of because she just knows, hey, these kids are on TikTok, let me kind of do it. She had to put her account on private because we were all going to her for her courses, and it was taking up the spots for her real students. So she had to put her account on private because she's like, no, I'm actually a real teacher. I want to help this side, but hold on, I actually need my page to teach these kids in the university right now. And people have like screenshot of her syllabus and put it on TikTok saying, hey, y'all, we reading this book this week. Dr. Baldwin said so. Like it's incredible right now. It's made TikTok fun again. And it feels like ours, even though it's on a platform that we know the background of it, everything. But we've carved out our space yet again and making it ours, and it's real cool to see. So yeah. Okay, I think we got through most of the heavy stuff here.
One quick shout out. Yeah. I just want to shout out Jay Monroe. You all may have heard of him from the Gay Straight podcast. He's a really phenomenal
TV
photographer.
Show.
I'm sorry, TV show. Correct. Thank you for the correction because it's only available on streaming. But at any rate, he is hosting his art show that's exhibiting. He's having a gallery opening, and the theme of his work is Harlem Renaissance, and that's actually happening this weekend in New York City. So by the time this episode airs, it will have been over the course of the weekend. So you won't have the opportunity to be there for the opening, but it will be open and available. So if you are in the New York City area, we encourage you to go out. You can look him up, Jay Monroe, on all social platforms and Google his website and whatnot and get all the information. And I encourage you to go out and show some support for some local artists that are part of the community.
Absolutely.
1,000%.
That's my baby. Go ahead, support my
baby. I know that's right. So are y'all feeling this Bruno and Sexy Red song?
Wow.
Fat, juicy, and wet. Bust down middle part, badass bitch. You ain't never had punani like this. It's my shit right now.
What's wild about it is there are so many people. It's having like a moment like when white people realized that Beyonce was really black.
Right.
And that people are realizing that they're like shocked at Bruno's like language, but nigga been talking like this for like since he's been out in these streets. People just know the top 40 songs, the sanitized version that be on the radio.
They just know the Saturday song or the Sunday song, whatever that song was. I don't feel like doing anything.
This ain't new, but this just goes to show how late people. It just goes to show how late people are to the party. Like, baby, this ain't new.
I just love Sexy Red with all of my heart. All of my heart. I really do. I really do.
Okay, so I'm probably not in the group of people who's like, yay, this song. I don't hate it. I don't love it. Like, I don't know. For some, Bruno has a niche and he sticks to it. Mm-hmm. And this feels very much in the lane of all the other stuff. So it's not giving me something to jump for joy. I'm like, okay, this is exactly what I expect from Bruno. And I am not a Sexy Red fan. I am not a sexy
I love
red
her.
fan.
Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Right.
I'm
It's
just
a passing grade.
That's okay.
no, because I realize that I'm a certain type of female rapper. I'm like a Trina, you know.
She took the new version of Trina.
No, but her cadence is not the same. Her cadence is not the
The
same. Like
cadence,
the dirty talk
Yeah.
is very much like Trina.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about that cadence, you know, like that fast, you know, that's how I like. And
Okay.
I don't like this nasty. I don't like this.
Oh, I
She wanna
love it.
See, Jarrell want to be assaulted. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah,
She want to have her hair pulled.
You know,
she want to be choked out.
because I'm a fighting bitch. So I like that hard. I like that hard rap. That's just me.
You know, like,
That's
pussy
me.
like weed, pussy like Joe, pussy like cocaine, put it up your nose, slide on clear, suck up a tongue. Like, I was like, this shit is
No.
fire.
But can we talk
Don't
about? Can we talk
Don't
about
get me
how
wrong.
amazing?
And like,
Can we just talk about how amazing it is that there are so many different versions of female rap right now,
Oh,
and
God,
a lot of them are
Yeah.
like they are
hip-hop.
spitting. They are spitting, and like in terms of the level of creativity, because it's not all the same. It's not like the mumble rap, you know, that where there was like a gazillion different artists, you know, all sounding the same, mumbling and not saying anything. These women are spitting bars, and I'm here for it.
And it's dope because, like, right now, I mean, the Grammys were just on Sunday, so yesterday. So obviously, we'll have that on next week's episode of what happens at the Grammys. But it's dope to see them honoring Roxanne Shante. So to kind of go from like a Roxanne Shante to a Sexy Red and everything in between is dope to see. And I agree, the women are running rap and hip hop right now. Like,
I agree.
obviously you have like the Kendricks and things like that pop in and out, but outside of like those kind of pillar heads, it's the women that's really pushing it and out there right now. So, and here's the thing about Sexy Red on that song though. You can tell Bruno helped her though. He's like, okay, we can still keep your little like sexy redness. We're just gonna put a little sheen on it though. Just a little sheen. Make it a little cleaner. The production of it was just a little cleaner, but it was still sexy red at the end of the day. He said, doing big titty things with my big titty friends. I loved everything about how ignorant that shit is. And it's gonna be the #1 record in the country, guaranteed. Like, I love seeing how ignorant that shit is, and people are just eating it up. And again, I'm here for black women being on top of the charts, even if it's not the best rap on earth. Seeing the gamut, like you're saying, like they're just the range of women rappers out there. I'm here for it. I'm all here for it.
Speaking of women rappers, did you all see Glorilla on SNL? Did you see her performances?
Yes.
I did not.
Yeah, Glow.
I am such a Glorilla stan.
I love Glow. I love Glow. I
it's
do.
so
I
wild
do.
because she looks like
Little Mama.
She really do though.
They look so much alike.
they low-key do.
really do.
She looks so sweet, but she rapped like a 40-year-old woman who smoked Newports, and it's crazy. It's like, first of all, I just want to shout her out because seeing her on SNL was like a coming out party. Like, she'd been out in these streets for a while. She's been out doing her thing, and I'm not like tearing that away. She's been on big stages, small stages, whatever. But there was something about the way that she performed. You could see the joy in her face that she's like, I'm living in my purpose right now, and I'm showing you what God gifted me with my talents, and this is what it is. Ho.
I love that.
I loved all of it. It was so
I love that little swoop
good.
wig she has. That little swoop bang.
Just her hair, do yourself a favor, go out to YouTube.
It's good.
After listening to our podcast, go out to YouTube and watch her two performances. They were phenomenal.
Yeah, they were good.
I'm just a fan of her in general. I even just like watching her interviews. Like, even like Glow as a person, I'm just a fan of, because she is so fucking funny.
She is.
Yes.
Yo.
And her accent.
Yo.
her
accent
accent is killing me. Like,
It really
the
is,
way
though.
that she pronounces things, it's wild. And to hear her talk is just like, it makes me wonder, like, what was your life experience? Because the stuff that she talks about and the stuff that she raps about, I'm just like, oh.
The Memphis streets, baby.
The streets. I can tell I was born and raised in Maple Heights, Ohio, because I never.
You said, I don't know about that.
Never. I may have lived, but I had a very different kind of living situation.
Right.
It's just,
That's funny.
I just want to give her props. I mean, again, not to take anything away from her other performances, but it was so, I felt it through the TV that she was just in her element, serving it up to the people, and there were two bomb-ass performances with great production
she was
value.
eating the choreography up, too. I was
And
like, go ahead, Glow.
Not
Glow.
missing a single word.
No, I agree. And then shout out to Bad Motherfucking Bunny as well. I don't know 99% of the words on that album, but baby, I was bumping that shit like I did. And I'm for anyone that is like, again, the Black and brown communities doing what works for their motherfucking community. Stick it up for your motherfucking community. Putting money in your motherfucking community. Doing your residency in Puerto Rico. Making folks have to fly there to come and see it.
Are you estimating?
I'm going. You know I'm going to see Bonita,
Dang,
baby.
I know
Absolutely.
that's right.
I ain't never been to Puerto Rico either. Babe, let me tell you.
I like Puerto Rico.
I'm about to have
I haven't been
good.
there in like 10 years. So
I'm about to
I
have a
don't know
good
what
time.
It's like now.
I
know
bet
that
you are.
Being at his concert and
can't tell you nothing.
What's great is that they're estimating that this is going to bring more than $4 billion of revenue and commerce to Puerto Rico, which absolutely
They have
needs
my
that
money.
investment. So I think this is phenomenal. I hope that there are more. I hope that more artists, like jump on the bandwagon after this year. Space some of this stuff out, but
space it out,
or at least have them on two different sides of the island, because that may be a lot, but Puerto Rico needs it. They've been having a hell of a couple of years with infrastructure issues, with power outages, with hurricanes, with just so many
gentrification.
That too, but so it's great. It's great that this is happening, and I'm so excited that Puerto Rico is going to get the influx of investment that it needs from all of us.
The album's good.
The album is good.
Very good.
It is a really good album. Like
I was trying to look. I was trying to translate. I was like, "What are you saying?"
Wasn't even trying. Let me tell you, I was painting literally for 11 hours on Thursday and another 11 hours on Friday, and I just kept the album on repeat. Just on repeat. It was getting me together. And I can't wait. This is going to be so much fun. And you know what? I feel like this is what white people must feel like going to black functions. Because I'm going to go there and I'm going to not know a single goddamn thing. But I'm going to be up in there living my best life.
It's like, I know this ain't for me, but I'm happy for you, Bad Bunny. I'm happy for Puerto Rico, baby. I'm on your side, ho.
Okay? I'm happy showing up. Make it look. Respecting this ain't for me. So I'm acting accordingly.
Right.
Okay.
But I'll stay out the way, but I'm gonna be up in there.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't been to Puerto Rico
When you
in such
going?
a long time.
The concert is September 7th. That's the date that we're
going. Is it a
going.
weekend?
It's a weekend. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it came with like a 2-night hotel stay. So the hotel night is the 6th and the 7th. So actually, no, it's the 6th. So
I'm about to talk to Corey. Even if we don't get to, maybe we just show up, pull
we
up.
might need to do the same thing. I haven't been to Puerto Rico in so long. I was like, might as well squeeze a little trip in there.
I know that's right, because I love Puerto Rico. Corey used to go to Puerto Rico all the time.
It's crazy how it happened. I got to give my friend Matt a shout out, because I was listening to the album and I literally posted Bonita on my timeline, as one do when you see his fine self. And my friend was like, it's crazy that you posted him because I got an extra ticket to the concert. Like, do you want it? And I was like, yeah, absolutely.
Say less.
What's your Bimbo? And I sent that money immediately.
I know, that's right.
And then we both bought our plane tickets that same day.
He said, I ain't that house phone.
I said, I'll be eating ramen noodles for the next 3 days. Thank you very much.
That's right.
That's funny. So Fizz gonna be at home. Are you out there having your chorizo fantasy?
The Puerto Rican fantasy.
Let me tell you, he might be there too. He won't be at the concert because he don't like the album. Right. He was like, I don't like it. I don't know. So he might be in Puerto Rico. He won't be at the. I don't know. He didn't like it. It wasn't his thing. But that's his birthday week.
Well, it wasn't for him.
Look, so I literally said, I listened to my friend. So I was like, he was like, can we make a week trip out of it? Because, Labor Day the week before. And I said, man, his birthday is on Labor Day. So I can't leave until September 3rd. So I'll go September 3rd to the 9th. I'll do me 6 days that
yours
way.
Labor Day, mine is 4th of July. I'll be running to the same day. I'm like, dang, I can't go that day.
Messing up my holiday weekend.
Once July 1st is over, I'll figure it out. Oh, Lord. But yeah, no, shout out to Bad Bunny. Shout out to Puerto Rico, baby. You know what? Let's take a quick little tea break because we actually have an Ask Yo Aunteas, and we'll end on that. So we'll be right back.
Hey, community. A lot of you have asked how you can support Minority Report outside of the sharing and downloading and subscribing and leaving reviews. But you can also buy merch. Come on, baby.
I know that's right. And we have a whole lot of options, from clothing to pillows to tumblers and bags. And we continue to update all of our stuff with new styles, new colors, and new products. Jarrell, where can they get all that stuff at?
Well, they can get all that and then some at minorityReport.com. They can find all the goodies, find out additional information about your aunties. And we also want to make sure that you share and tag us when you do buy merch, all right? So let us know if it's a hoodie, it's a tee, a long shirt, a towel, because we know you need those. But let us know.
Absolutely. And remember to wash your hands, your legs, and your ass.
Oh, yeah, I do want to say I do have a hard stop at 7:30 because security is going to be like, you need to get the fuck up out of here. So,
you need to get up out of here. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All righty, ladies. First one of 2025.
Hey.
You ready? What time is it?
Ask your
And this was going to be short and quick and easy. And this came up over actually the holidays. Folks were sending this in, and it was a big viral moment. So it says, Ask Yo Aunteas. Hey, aunties, is it yellow cake or is it chocolate cake?
Lord.
And I had to think for a second. I was like, what did we call it? I think we call it, and I asked my mom over the holidays. She was like, I think we call it chocolate cake. But she's like, now that you asked me, I don't know why we call it chocolate cake because it is yellow cake. I think we call it, but like, I don't know what we call like chocolate cake with chocolate frosting. I think we just knew, I don't know, but I think we called it chocolate cake.
Yeah, we were a yellow cake house.
Yeah, we were yellow cake as well.
We were delineated because we didn't want any surprises when you cut into something. It's like
cut into it.
You got your mouth tasting for a certain kind of thing, and then you cut into it like,
right.
This
ain't the chocolate cake
for us.
Oh, and when you think about like birthday cakes, right? At least like growing up, there were 3 different types. There was the chocolate cake because it was brown. There was vanilla, or there was the marble cake, and it was based off of the inside of the cake, not the icing.
Right.
So
right.
The inside of the cake is yellow fucking cake. It's yellow cake with chocolate frosting. Because you could put vanilla frosting on there. You could put some other kind of purple, that nasty purple frosting that no one liked on birthday cakes. You can put that shit up on there as well, too.
And it stay in your mouth and all that.
Yeah.
And low key, I'm not going to lie, low key, we didn't really eat chocolate cake like that. We
didn't either, so I think that's why we called it chocolate. I thought chocolate cake was yellow cake.
But we didn't really eat it like that. I'll just talk about like in our household and in our family lineage, grandmamas, aunts, uncles, like we didn't really mess around with chocolate cake like that. The only time we messed around with chocolate cake, like the cake itself, was chocolate, was German chocolate cake, and the only time that chocolate cake came into question, like, is it yellow cake or chocolate cake with chocolate icing, was cupcakes. It's the only time that it really came up in our household. But every other time, chocolate for us was German chocolate cake. Or
But
red
also, when
velvet
people
cake,
think
because,
about
you know,
it,
red velvet
when people
is
call it like a
Right.
triple chocolate cake, it's
We do
triple
that.
chocolate cake because the inside is brown, the icing is chocolate, and there's like some chop of
Ganache.
like drizzle or something that's also on there
Yeah.
that's chocolate as well too. So the inside of the cake has to be brown for it to be called chocolate cake. I don't want to hear it.
I get it in
well,
theory,
it's the icing.
but in reality, I think we call because like I don't recall my mom ever making like a chocolate cake. It was like you said, it was German chocolate cake, or it was chocolate cake, but it was really yellow cake with the chocolate frosting. She made a upside down pineapple cake, and then she would make. And this was when we were kind
Red
of a little
velvet.
older because my aunt, she never really made too much of a red velvet here and
Okay.
there.
Because red velvet is chocolate cake.
Right, red velvet
But
is
it's
like just
red,
red food done.
right.
And then she made it's like called like a key lime cake, and then but that was it. And we never really did too many like cupcakes. It was always like cake. Now I think about it. Like even going, maybe the only time we did cupcakes is like back then you could bring like cupcakes to school for your birthday and shit like that. But even then, that was like when blow pops were like popping. So it was like, no, we want blow pops.
Yeah.
So it was interesting. So I asked her over Christmas. I was like, "Ma, what do you call the cake that you used to make with the chocolate frosting?" She's like, "Chocolate cake." I was like, "But it was yellow." She's like, "Yeah, you're right. So I guess it's yellow cake, but we just call it the chocolate cake." I was like, "I know." I was like, "I'm tripping right now," because I never gave it thought until that shit went viral. I was like, "Oh, we just assumed chocolate cake at home was yellow chocolate cake, or yellow with the chocolate frosting, and never gave it thought." Or we called it German chocolate cake.
Okay, but what are you calling it now though? Are you sticking to what you called it before?
I think I'm gonna call it yellow chocolate cake. I think I'm gonna call it yellow chocolate cake. That's what I'm gonna call it now. That's the
That
updated
is a very
name.
Corel answer. That is a very Corel answer.
Because it's not really chocolate, like chocolate cake. Yeah. I almost
It's
had to
yellow cake with
delineate the
chocolate
inside.
icing.
But
It's
then the
yellow
thing of
cake
it
with
is
chocolate
that
icing.
when you have like, let's say, a yellow cake with like sprinkle icing, you don't call it
I
sprinkle
don't think I
icing
ever
cake.
did.
You know,
I don't think I ever did. That's the thing. Like, anytime we had yellow cake, it was chocolate frosting. I don't think I've ever had yellow cake with any other kind of frosting.
Same. I don't
frosting
think
on
I
it.
ever. Yeah, it's always been chocolate. It's always
It might have been a vanilla cake then. It might have been like the more white cake with like maybe a vanilla frosting or
but even
sprinkled
still,
stuff.
it's not
But-
called like sprinkle cake. It's not the cake of what
Right,
the icing
yeah, I agree
is.
with
It's
the
with
statement.
cake with what's on the inside. Because I'll tell
I
you
understand it intellectually.
I'll
red
tell you
velvet,
what.
right? If those chocolate cake is dyed red, you still
Right.
acknowledge that is red.
Red
so
velvet.
So
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
yellow
No, I
cake.
get it.
I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
If you ask me now, first of all, I don't really eat cake like that.
Same. I don't know why I'm
birthday
fighting
pies,
so hard.
But
Said it with your whole chest.
theoretically, but if I were to say, "Oh, I want chocolate cake," and I cut into it and it's yellow on the inside, I would be pissed.
You would
Because
be
that's
mad.
not what I asked
Okay.
for.
Got it. Yeah.
I mean, I
was
get
like,
when
"Ooh, that's
people may
delicious."
call things, just like people call,
Right, right.
Kool-Aid flavors colors
Red
instead of
and
the
purple.
actual flavor of what it is. I get it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like
You said I want some chocolate cake,
if
and
I
it better
want
be
chocolate
chocolate.
cake, it better be chocolate. It better be chocolate. It better be chocolate all through that bitch. Like that shit with
What's
the-
your favorite cake? Do you like chocolate cake better than yellow cake,
I don't like cake.
or just whatever the taste you have at the moment?
I'd rather have.
I
I'd rather have
don't
German
like cake if
chocolate
it comes
cake.
in the form of a man.
A bang.
A bag, a booty bag. Bet you eat some cake then.
I
Look.
know that's right.
And
She
do.
said, "I'll."
And do. Yes. Gladly.
She said, "Milk mustache and all." Okay, section red. She said, "Fit my legs back, eat my booty from the back or from the front." Milk mustache with the good. Oh Lord. Anyway, yeah, man. Yeah, no, I like yellow cake even to this day. Oh, right, spread it out. Oh, stop it. I'm about to join into the animation and all.
You got to make your way through the baying first to get to the main
Baby.
course. Like spread the curtains.
It's like do a little- No, I prefer yellow cake over chocolate cake, actually. Like or if it's gonna have like chocolate frosting. Like I just, gosh, it might have been. Oh, I think we were talking about for Thanksgiving, Corey, before you decided on the pineapple upside down cake. I was like, low key. I was like, I haven't had like a yellow chocolate cake in a minute. That sounds so good to me. And of course, she's like, no, my mind's set on a pineapple upside down cake. That's what I'm making. So, but I guess he had the yellow box.
Smell. I love the smell of cakes, like in the oven, more so than I do like eating them.
Eating it.
Isn't that weird? Like
I get that.
I love the smell of them. Like it smells so delicious and so like yummy. But like the actual eating of them, I'd rather have pie.
I love it. I'm definitely more cake than pie, but yeah, no. So that's the first Ask Yo Aunteas of the year. So continue to send your Ask Yo Aunteas to aya@minorityareport.com or DM us or hit us on the T line. We need some new Ask Yo Aunteas for 2025. That's why we don't do it every episode anymore. We're down to the bottom of the barrel, so we try to like space them out. So we have them here, once a quarter. But continue to send that to us because we love doing this segment and hopefully we provide good advice and opinion. And obviously it's for entertainment purposes only. Yes. So we ain't trying to fuck up nobody's life. But if you send it in, just know we're going to provide opinion.
And you can call that in, so you don't have to email us. You can call us at 1-800-T-LINE or, I'm sorry, 1-844-T-LINE or 844-832-5463.
I know that's right. Well, anything else on your hearts and minds today, boobs? And by the way, too, if you're looking for Drag Race commentary, and I like to feel we're like the official, unofficial Drag Race review podcast out there. We ain't official with World of Wonder, but we've done this for several years at this point. So if you're looking for that commentary, it's already on the channel. Yes. We put it out earlier than we normally do. That way we're not like a week and a half, 2 weeks behind by each episode. So check that out, subscribe, hit the bell button. That way you get the notification when that gets uploaded. Right. But anything else on your hearts and minds?
No, just enjoy Black History Month. Support everything Black, be Black. And if you're an ally, show your allyship this month.
Both.
That part.
And on that note, wash your hands, your legs, and your ass. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye, y'all, everybody.
Move out the way. I know that's right.
Move, bitch. Move, bitch.
Period. Don't jump, bitch. Move.
Move, bitch.